Hey there, welcome to another episode of Cooking with Violet Vixen. Tonight we are doing a pasta dish. It is called pepperoni pasta. Here's what we need. This will serve four. So come on in and I'll show you what's going on. So you will need a heavy saucepan, or I'm using the wok. Anytime where I have a fair few ingredients that I know is going to make quite a bit of sauce, I don't have a really high heavy based frying pan, so I will just use the wok. Also, you'll need a pot of salted water on to boil, a pasta stirring implement. This is actually a pasta dishing up spoon thing. A spatula. This one I've had for ages and I like it because it's a stirring spoon and it sort of scrapes and picks up as well. Ingredients are as follows: 3 tablespoons of olive oil, 1 onion chopped. I've had that in the freezer, but that's fine. The way that I do things now is if I've got extra, I'll put it in the freezer. If I know I'm going to cook it, it's perfectly fine. 1 red capsicum, de-seeded and chopped. 1 orange or yellow capsicum, same thing, de-seed and chop. 800-gram can of chopped tomatoes. Now, Aldi don't do an 800-gram can, so that's why there's 2 sitting here. 1 tablespoon of sun-dried tomato puree. Now, I've never seen sun-dried tomato puree, so what I did was I had some sun-dried tomatoes. I've just chopped them up. So I'm just going to put that in like that. So it'll give it a little bit of a bite to it, because sun-dried tomatoes do have a bit of a bite, so it'll be quite nice. 1 teaspoon of paprika. You can go for paprika of choice. I'm just going with the natural ground paprika. 225 grams of pepperoni sliced. This is 200 grams and these are slices, so that's exactly what we want. If you can get the one that looks like a sausage and cut that up, use that one as well. But once again, I was in Aldi, there wasn't much in there, so I grabbed what I could. 2 tablespoons of chopped flat leaf parsley. That's been in the freezer. Once again, if you get a bunch of something and you know that you can use it for cooking, chop it up and then it's ready to go. So merely all I had to do was get a tablespoon and measure that out. Easy. Salt and pepper. Don't you love when they get identified as ingredients, because they are ingredients, we are using them. 450 grams of dried garganelli, which is a type of pasta which I don't have. I did check Woolworths, but Woolworths was actually worse off, believe it or not, than Aldi for different types of pasta. So I just ended up with good old penne, and I love penne. It's so easy. Once again, as per last few videos, 500-gram packet. You need 450 grams. I'm not going to say 50 grams, otherwise there'll be a lot of bags floating around in there. Now, I know I've already got a bag of penne in there, but it's a different brand, so I'm just going to use that. It's fine. Pasta keeps for ages. And a mixed salad leaves bag to serve. This one I got from Aldi. I'm going to soak that in a bit of cold water. They actually last quite a long time. I'm quite impressed with those. So now that you know what's going on, water is on to boil. That's pretty straightforward. Once it's boiling, penne is going to go in there. So we're going to get started on the rest. Let's go. Okay, so into our wok / heavy based frying pan. Crank it up to a high heat. I've sprayed it because I always like to do that. We are adding 2 of the 3 tablespoons of olive oil. And I was trying to work out where the other one's going, but I found out, and I'll let you know at the end. All right, so while that's warming up, get your onion ready, and we're going to pop that in and we're going to cook that. So there may be a little bit of water on it because it's defrosting, but it should be fine though. So put that in. And that goes. Give that a bit of a stir. It's still a bit frozen because it's a hot, humid day. Everything that I prepped, I've had to put in the fridge. That's why everything's in containers, not the usual bowls that I use. And it being my slow day, I'm taking my time with this one today. So get frying with your onion and I'll see you soon. So just getting ready for the next step, which is once this onion's softened, which it looks like it has, in goes the yellow capsicum or orange. I don't think I've seen an orange capsicum, so I guess it's when it doesn't know whether it's going to be red or yellow. So it's pretty cool. In goes the red. And then in go our 2 cans of diced tomatoes, or 1 big can. That's 1 can. There's the other one. Now I haven't got any extra liquid to go in with this because normally what I like to do is deglaze the tin. So I'm just going to pop a bit of water in each one of them, and that will help with that. Rinse it, swirl it around into the other one. Because I've put a bit of extra water in, I'm keeping the temperature hot for that reason. We need that water to burn off a bit. Okay. Now, also grab the 1 teaspoon of the paprika and the tomato puree. Sun-dried tomato puree, my apologies. That's not pureed, but at least I've got the sun-dried tomato taste in it. Once again, I don't think I've ever seen sun-dried tomato puree. And this is from the Italian cooking book, so this is probably why I haven't seen this recipe before. You probably have to go to a Italian deli to get that sort of stuff. And if you're very rarely cooking it, there's no point in doing it. You're better off just doing it the way I did it. Now this is 2 half teaspoons to make up 1 teaspoon of paprika. Give it a really, really good stir. And we're going to bring it to the boil, which is pretty much doing now. And get ready to pop in the rest of it. And then we're going to simmer it for about 15 minutes. And try not to make a mess. That is why I made sure that I used the wok, not my low saucepan. Frying pan, like it said. It told me to use a frying pan. The frying pan's not even that size. So you really do need a saucepan over a frying pan. Check on your water as soon as that's boiling. You want to add the pasta. Okay, in goes parsley, which it's been in the freezer, but it doesn't matter because we're cooking it. This is a good way to use up things that are in the freezer, and by putting things in the freezer, it's also a good way to stop wasting so much food. And obviously when you waste a lot of food, you waste a lot of money as well. So when planning what to cook, I always like to go through what I've got in the freezer or the fridge or the pantry and see what can be used up, and then that way it cuts down the price at the checkout. A lot, because if I'm not buying things and using up what's already there, that's good. So in goes salt and pepper. It's coming up to the boil very beautifully, which is exactly what we want. Now I'm just going to grab some scissors and cut open this pepperoni. Which is in 2 packets, almost like they don't really want me to use it. I know they do, but who knows. Alright. Just layer it on the top like you're making pizza. I am a huge fan of pepperoni, especially pizza. Meat lovers pizza, yum. So I'm going to make it look like a pizza. And there's another packet of that too. Yay. Alright, once you got this in, pop your timer on for, I'd give it a good 15 minutes. You really want everything to bubble up and get flavoursome. Pepperoni doesn't really need cooking, so it's more just to garnish it, I guess you could say. Alright, turn it down about halfway, timer on for 15 minutes, pasta in when it starts to boil, and I'll see you when it's nearly done. Okay, so we're back after 15 minutes. Give it a final stir. Pasta's coming along beautifully. I've just got some out and I'm about to check on it. You want it firm but not soft, and that tastes pretty good. So now it's time to drain the pasta, turn it off, and bring it over. The final tablespoon of olive oil is to go in with this. You want to give it a good stir through. And then once we've got that ready, we're going to bring the sauce over and put it all in here. And the good thing about using this is I can put the lid on it and it'll stay warm for a while, as I'm not quite ready for it yet. On goes the lid. Shake it like you're making popcorn. Beautiful. That's all coated nicely. Let's go get that sauce. Here it goes. Beautiful. Look at that. Stir it through. Okay. Thank you for watching this episode of Cooking with Violet Vixen. This has been pepperoni pasta. Don't forget, hit subscribe. You'll never miss a moment. Bye.